Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to Southeast Asian participant and good morning to European participant. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Donna Oktanari and you can call me Donna. I'm your, for today, I'm going to be the moderator for 3 sessions today, and I'm honored to be your moderator in the second Indopet International webinar hosted by CMAO CMOIC. Okay, there will be 3 sessions for today event, and for the first session is we're going to talk about Project Hatchery. Actually, the Project Hatchery is the concept that has been developed in Turku University of Applied Science since 2008, and it's belongs to the Educational Research, Development, and Innovation Methods family. Overall, all of these RD methods are key elements in the innovation pedagogy learning approach. And in this Project Hatchery method, a multidisciplinary group of the first year's students working together to reach a goal. And usually the students are divided in groups with 1 teacher tutor and 1 student tutor each, and each group will work on project. Okay, for the presenter for today, there will be 3 speakers. The first, Meiju Kinen. Meiju Kinenen MA is a lecturer and researcher at Turku University of Applied Sciences. And then there will be Sukma Putra. He is a lecturer at Binus Case Center Manager at Bina Nusantara Business School and teaches Project Hatchery. And then the last speaker for this session, there will be Mr. Samadi, and he is as a chief editor of a group journal at Animal Science Department at UNSIA. And right now, he is Vice Dean. Oh, there will be four speakers. Okay, sorry. And he's the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Agricultural Faculties here, Kuala University. And the last, there will be speaker, Mr. Herman Miril. He is from Yogyakarta State University, and he is also teacher of Innovation Camp. And for the first, please Ms. Meiju Kinenen from TUAS to share about Project Hatchery from Turku University. Okay, please, time is yours. Okay, please, Meiju.
Morning from Turku, Finland, and good afternoon in Indonesian. Selamat siang. So I will shortly describe the method Project Hatchery in my presentation, and after that my colleagues from Indonesian will share how they have implemented this method in their university and what are their experiences about this method. So the Project Hatchery method in our university, it is a own course. It is not only a method. It is a big concept, and we have systematically developed it at TUAS since 2008, almost 10 years. And the theoretical background of this method is innovation pedagogy, and this innovation pedagogy is also our pedagogical strategy of TUAS. Unfortunately, in this presentation, I do not have time to go more deeply in innovation pedagogy, but if you are interested how we are doing things in our university and how we are teaching and learning, please learn more from our websites. So, in our faculty, technology, environment and business, we are using this hatchery method in many ways. And this Project Hatchery is one step in students' hatchery path. So this Project Hatchery is the basic course, and after that students have opportunity to choose if they want to study it in hatchery, so they could choose more advanced hatchery after that. But the first one is a compulsory course for our every first year students. And what is the aim of this course? Why we are implementing that kind of course in our faculty? So the learning outcomes are strongly based on soft skills. So in the Project Hatchery, student trains to exploratory and independent working methods, learns basics from project work and process skills as well. But one is the main very important thing is that students learns to work multidisciplinary groups and gets to know students from other disciplines, and therefore also start to build networks needed in working life and student life in general. And also learns presentation and interaction skills and start to develop own innovation competencies. And because this is students are working in multidisciplinary teams, we have noticed that this course also increase communality of the faculty. So, like I said, students are learning in multidisciplinary groups, so it is the key thing in Project Hatchery. And like you see in my slide, there are different degree programs. So in our faculty, we have 8 different degree programs. We have different kind of engineering programs and students from sales, for example. So all these students from different degree programs are divided in multidisciplinary group, and they are working with their own project. And how What is Project Hatchery in practice? So, multidisciplinary group of first-year students working together to reach a goal, and this course will start right after first autumn, and then has start and it ends in December, and it is a 5 credits, 5 ECTS for our students. And students are divided in groups. There is about 10 to 15 students per one group, and every group will have own teacher and one student tutor. The student tutor is a second-year student who has already done this course 1 year early, and they are supporting and guiding these multidisciplinary Project Hatchery groups. So every group will have own project, and the assignments for this project could come from companies or local organization, our research and development and innovation project, or inside the faculty. The key thing in this project is that they has to be authentic, real problem-based challenge for our students. And this course, it contains both independent work for students, but also weekly contact lessons. The students, every Wednesday is their Project Hatchery day, and they are working with the project whole day. And what is the main important thing also in this method and in this course, that students get the topic of their project, but it's their job to choose how they are going to find their own way, how to find the results to the project. So they are choose their own working methods freely. Teacher or student tutor, they are not participate to choosing the working methods. There you can see how it's working, and like I said, this is very big concept in our faculty. It means that we are many members inside this concept. So every autumn 500 students will start their studies, and then I divided them to the hatcheries, and we have about 40 to 50 hatchery every autumn. And every hatchery has own student tutor, and they are guiding hatcheries. So that means that we have 40 to 50 student tutor running these or guiding these hatcheries. And also we have a team of teachers, about 10 to 15 teachers. And every teachers have 4 Project Hatchery groups and 4 student tutor. And teacher's role is support and guide student tutors, not working in the Project Hatchery. And I'm coordinating and developing whole this system. So I train the student tutor and teachers and organize all the activities under this concept. And what this mean in practice, what this group are doing in time schedule. So in first months they are starting to familiarizing this concept and trying to know each other and what is meaning Project Hatchery, that they have to take responsibility. They also get familiar with the topic of the project. Then they choose a project manager from the group and also start to forming the small groups inside the multidisciplinary group. During the autumn, they have to do also project plan, and groups will have theory workshops where we are supervising and supporting the working in the project. And then they also have to do some personal reports, individual tasks. And in the end of the year, we have a big events under this concept. So we have a poster show and also competition of presentation. So students have to present their results and project in different way. And in the end of the project, we have assessment and feedback session, and also students are doing final report and second personal report. And what this means in the teachers and student tutors perspective, we start our year in January, and we have a common workshop where we develop and planning the practices for next year. So every time we have this kind of developing day. And February I start to recruiting of new student tutors. And March to August, the student tutors and teachers have trainings for the project hatcheries. And September to December, when the project hatcheries are starting, student tutors and teachers are working there, and we are supporting their work by counseling session in now and every week. And also we have a common closure in the end of the hatcheries, and we are reflecting together what we have learned, and then also student tutors will get certificates. So student tutors will also earn credits when they are acting as a student tutor. So it's called leading a group course. But here in the end, I have few tips as a perspective of coordinator and developer, what I have learned during these 3 years. This is my 3rd year when I running this whole set, and before that I was a teacher in Project Hatchery. So I think that the most important thing in this concept is that student, teachers and coordinators should trust on students. They can really do it, and also give responsibility for them. And also I think that this is important that we are doing this together. So because in our case this is so big thing that we have 500 students and 50 student tutors and 15 teachers, so it needs that there should be commonly agreed practices supporting this work. But although we are implemented this course, this method in our university in this big way, but it's possible also to use this course or this method inside the classroom. And therefore my colleagues from Indonesia will share their experience how this method works in their classrooms. Thank you.
Meiji, it's a wonderful presentation from you. So we already heard about the theoretical thing about Project Hatchery, and it's interesting how can multidisciplinary learning. We will hear the implementation of Project Hatchery from Mr. Sukma Putra from BINUS. And for each presenter, we give time only 10 minutes. And for the participant who will ask question to the presenter, you can click the question and answer button on the top on the right. You can click there and type the question. After the presentation from the presenter, we will read your question, and the speaker, the presenter, will ask your question. Thank you. Now, Mr. Sukma Putra, please, the time is yours. You can share your implementation about Project Hatchery in your institution, in your class. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Before I start, probably I need some time to upload a video so you can actually see better about what have we done here.
Okay, is there any problem, Mr. Sukma? Okay, you can start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so this is a project Hatchery. Okay. So this is I'm going to share about how we do it in Venus University International. Okay. So yes, what is Project Hatchery? Basically, yes, it's something that we adapt from Turku University, just like what Mayu said. And we've been implementing this since 2014. When we say adapt, it means that, yes, we found the basic is actually from Turku, but we are doing it better, not better, probably different. And we think differently how actually the course actually can fit into our culture, into our learning method, into our teaching methodology as well. So therefore, the learning objectives is to interpret problems in different perspectives, to generate innovative ideas, and makes the students communicate more effectively. In the learning process, we collaborate in multidisciplinary team, which means that in the class, just probably you can see besides me, there are two gentlemen here. They're coming from different programs, and they will be in the same team. So yes, it will generate a multidisciplinary kind of knowledge. So when they are actually doing a brainstorming of problems, they can have more ideas, more variety of ideas. So the process actually we are using the design thinking, which is, I'm going to explain it later on. And then the activities is also being done in field and in class activities. Okay. So how things work, as you can see in my presentations here, the students actually divided into some groups. As you can see the stars there, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually a students group. Students groups, they're actually from different programs, and usually in one group consists of 4 to 5 students. During the process, they will actually encourage to solve the problems by using design thinking method, which is start with the empathizing, defining, ideating, prototype, and testing, which is an iterative process. And during the process, there will be a facilitators and a co-facilitator, which is the co-facilitator is usually coming from the students which already have taken the Project Hatchery class or workshops. Okay, so a glimpse of how we doing the how we did the activities in class. Well, I will share you a video. So, okay, hang on. Okay. can see here, they have to write and we have a special room to brainstorm, which is we call a cyber park. So here are the prototype. Okay, talking about how we actually follow the design thinking method, these two gentlemen actually created a video how they can come up with a prototype, yeah, which is actually based on a design thinking process. So this is a video which describes how design thinking works for them as a students in terms of finishing their Project Hatchery course. Okay, so this is your prototype for Lotus app, which of phone addiction for students. So this is actually part of their observations where they
usually Messenger, Line, all those messaging apps, and a couple of videos.
Have you ever thought that you overuse your phone?
Not really, but on some classes, yes.
What have you tried?
while distracting myself from using my phone by, well, not studying, but drawing and stuff.
So this is how you...
Apps do you use during class?
WhatsApp, some social media or something like that, and I'm also playing games.
Have you ever thought that you overuse your phone?
Yes, it is. I overuse my phone and
What have you tried to lessen your phone usage?
what?
What have you tried to lessen your phone usage?
I'm trying to I don't know. I'm trying to do like I'm busy myself to do something, but after that it wasn't really it wasn't really enough.
Okay, so yeah, I see that some of you cannot see the video, but I have a notifications that you will actually see the video live in 10 minutes. But yeah, basically I will actually tell you about the videos. Actually, it's a process of a prototypes of this gentleman here. So they are actually creating an applications, but let me actually give the honor to them. Let's they explain it. They will explain it, what kind of applications and how they actually experience a Project Hatchery class. Please, gentlemen.
So about Project Hatchery, our project is to make a program, to make an application, so that the student will not playing handphone too much on a lecture mode. So when lectures teaching, we're not supposed to open our phone or something. I mean, open our social networking or something, and we got to be focused more on the lecture session. And also we also have a features about points when you guys the lesser of using a phone, the more you get a points. And also the experience about Project Hatchery is mean a lot to us. I guess for making a project, and also we also enthusiastic for making this project, even though we're still not making the real application yet, but we're still making the design of it and the design of the application, and also we're making the advertisement like this. And so the advertisement is actually one of my friend's idea. It's beside mine. It's Eldo. He gave us the idea of making the advertisement, and he created the storyboard. He work as a director, and I work as an actor who gets almost brutally killed. You know, I mean, in the chapter 3, I was almost getting hit by the car back then behind the scene, and yeah, that the scenes taken really hard. And also in Project Hatchery, we also learned about design thinking. We also learned about how to observe, how to find a solution by observe your surrounding, and also try to find the idea about the product and how to make the prototype and at least test it to everyone. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And you?
For me, the project Hatchery is like united our student in here. So because we are from the different major, from the different program, and then so we can meet each other and then create some some product that will be useful with everyone. So this is really good program because I guess with the ordinary student just only focus on their own friends and their own major. So it could be make some create our social life in Venus. And then for this project Hatchery, we made some phone addiction. Is means to stop people to too much playing their own gadgets, because recently is not just only in college school but in everywhere, people too much focused, too much wasting their own time with their gadgets. So they don't know each other, then focus on their own business. So yeah.
So for me, Project Hatchery is a really good experience and a program, because you get to find we as students get to find problems and try to fix it. And since we're all from different majors, we get to use our different majors and combine that into solving the problem, such as Eldo, who's from film, making the advertisement, and yeah, and a lot of us from different majors to make reports and to make the design. And then the best part is that if the project that we made really works, it's that satisfaction was the best feeling of our group when we actually solved the problem through Project Hatchery. And I think it really helps with time management and creating our creativity more.
Okay. Yeah. If you have questions more about this Project Hatchery, how we implement it in Venus, you can ask us directly, probably, or within the chat. So we are actually very happy if you have a question for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation from Mr. Sukma Putra and the student. Okay, it's very interesting that the student have to find the authentic problem in their class, and the problem is about using the smartphone, right? And then they try to make an application to solve the problem. And okay, next we will hear the experience from Mr. Samadi from Sheikh Kuala University. Yeah, and we can see here that he already have a lot of experiences as an expert program in Indopet and Spire, and he's also reviewed in some international and national journal, and he has a role as a chief editor of AgriPet journal at Animal Science Department at UNSIA. And right now, Mr. Samadi is Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Agriculture Faculty, Sheikh Kuala University. Okay, Mr. Samadi, time is yours, and you have 10 minutes to present. And don't forget, for the participant, if you have a question, you can type your question at question and answer feature on the top on the right. Please, the time is yours, Mr. Samadi. Yeah, it's already okay. It's fine. It's look very great here. From here, Mr. Samadi, you can start.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Good afternoon for Indonesian time, and good morning for for the ASEAN. So maybe we have a different that from Venus they already start for
Okay.
they already start for Project Hatchery in 2014, but we just start for our Project Hatchery this year. We choose this Project Hatchery because we think that is super important. So I'm one of lecturers from this Project Hatchery for the practical.
Excuse me, Mr. Samadi.
Yeah.
Before you continue, do you have any presentation?
Yeah,
slide presentation. Please share your presentation first. You can click share on the top on the left next to edit button. Okay, now we can see your presentation and you can slide share your presentation.
Already?
Yeah, already.
Okay. This is our slide presentation, and then I told you that for my subject here is practical agro-technopreneurship, as we are also supervised by Hira Palainen and Mejo Rasanen from Turku University in Flight Science. And just to give you a brief information about the profile of the course, this is mandatory course, and with the number of the student is 47 students, and this is for the 6th semester, 3 years student. We have here for 3 teachers. I'm also a coordinator for the team, and we have divided for the project hatchery for 10 hatcheries, and with the number of tutors is 10. And also we involve several industry or stakeholders, like several animal industries, such as this is Blang Raka, one of the very famous animal industry in Aceh, and also Aceh livestock and organic fertilizer and the others. And main activities and tasks is what we are going to do is to grow entrepreneur desire and creative and innovative team working and solve the problem relating to the animals industries. Yeah, I think this is for the first subject, and also as our vision at our faculty that we want to create many entrepreneurs. So this subject is we start for this years, and with the number of credit is 4 credits, and we divide it for two SKS or 2 credit for theory and 2 credit for practical work. And for theory, we ask students, they visit the animal industry and they try to make a business plan, and the end they have to present the result. And for the practical work, we try to create innovative products relating to the animal industry, presentation results, and at the end we have like exhibitions to show for the student and also for the people in our faculty what they have already done. Just to give you some brief information about the subjects, as I told you at the beginning that we have 2 credits as a theory and the agro-technopreneurship, and the student after they get some theory in the class, we ask them to visit some animal industries, and this depends on the student what they want. Some they visit like what we call that poultry product, and also for the food processing, and also like cattle industry, and they have to make a business plan, and at the end they have to give like presentations. This is just to show to the class in the practical agro-technopreneurship. This is more we discuss first, but different from TUAS, and also I don't know, maybe also from the Venus, because in TUAS the member of the group is come from different fields.
Excuse me, Mr. Samadi.
Yeah?
Can you speak louder, please?
Yeah.
Any of for your presentation, please slideshow. You can click the display setting.
Yeah. This is okay right now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, from the practical agri-entrepreneurship, we divide it for the student. We have 5 or 6 students each group with 10 group. And at the beginning, we ask the student to create the idea. What is the idea relating to the animals industry, something like that. And then we discuss with the teachers and to decide it, what is the topic is appropriate or not for the project. Some project is appropriate, we can ask the student to continue, but if the project is not really good, we ask them to rethinking and then discuss with the teachers what the project is. We give them for 2 months to work with the project. And at the end, they have to give the final presentations. They give a presentation about their project, and we ask them to, what do you call that, to create something that are really new. Yeah. Because this is the first subject or the first semester for the, not the first semester, I mean that at the beginning, the first we start for this kind of a subject, so maybe student, maybe they don't know much about this. Then we ask students, they also practice to give the presentations, and we give the score with the specific score with the project. This is the 10 product for the project hatchery from the subjects. One of the students, they try to create a kind of the cattle feed. Usually they find many rabbits, or not rabbits, I mean that the eggs from the market and the vegetable market, they don't use anymore. They try to collect it to make a kind of animal feed. We call it silage. So this project, they put it like silang is silase is ulang, is mean that we can use this kind of silage to feed the animals. And this is the second group. They try to make the name is ayam sehat bervitamin. It's mean that kind of the chicken, they have contain lot of vitamin. This is a kind of culinary project, and they produce this for the economic thing of view. And the third one is soup from the kefir. This is healthy soup, so not only for the use for the body, but also for the fish. And the fourth group, they produce also, they call the chips. This is from the intestine from the chickens. Usually they don't use it, and then they use it to be economic value. And the fifth group, also the chicken fat, chicken feed. Yeah, they produce like satay. And this is the sixth group. They produce nugget from the poultry meat with the specific recipe. And the seventh group, this is the poultry feed. I think this is a very good project, because right now we have to import some of the poultry feed from the other province. They try to make the poultry feed with the healthy. They put some herb in the poultry and with the competitive price. And the egg group, they was also produce the chips. They called it kribo. And this is the ninth, the group. They produce also the kind of chip. And this is the last group. They produce the manual chopper. This is very important for the farmers before they what we call it, they feed the animals. the grass should be chopped to make easy for animal to feed. This is a kind of the student know they try to create a new things. And right now I ask also for the student, for the next time they don't produce not for the culinary result, but they have to produce the something like a very simple product machine, for example, they can use for the animals. So at the end of the project, we ask students to give some exhibitions. We ask students to make exhibition to introduce their product, and before we ask lecture from different departments to discuss about how we decided the product is good or not. We give the score, so we have to the same the same thing when we give the results. And now the exhibition, we open one day exhibition when we ask the student to come and they introduce about each of the group about the products, and also the referee give the score based on their product. And this is at the end of the activities. So we give the reward for the student. They have very good result, and we give the certificates and also some other, maybe some other, just a little bit money just to encourage. And maybe for the next semester we start again from this kind of project. We hope the product result from this activity is better, because this is the first time for us, so we got a lot of experience, and we can ask the student to produce a very good result for the next time. Okay, this is the conclusion. Based the experience from this hatchery project methods, I can see that the student is more active and creative and stimulate innovative ideas, and also the team working is improved, and also the networking. This is very important also. They can work with some business industries and to produce about the product, and then also they can arrange about the planning and time bounding. Okay, thank you. I think that's all for just introduce what we have already done for our project hatchery. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Samadi. It's very nice presentation from Mr. Samadi that he asks his student to try to solve a problem, and there are 10 groups and try to they have their own problem and try to solve all of the problem by produce something, food and then tools, something like that. And I think it's very important in animal business project. And next we have for the next presenter Mr. Herman Mirel from Yogyakarta State University. You have 10 minutes to present, and for the participant you can ask the question by type your question in question and answer feature. Okay, time is yours, Mr. Herman. You can start.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. What I'm going to talk now is how Project Hatchery is implemented in Yogyakarta State University. And this time I'm inviting my colleague, teacher, that maybe will give you some description what we have done here. But before, I'm going to talk about the condition of Project Hatchery in Yogyakarta State University. A part of Project Hatchery conducted in Binus and Sakwara University. In Yogyakarta University, we don't have any credit for students. That allow the student only get involved in this project by their voluntary. So in the beginning of the project, we involved 110 students. 2 of them are...
Mr. Herman, please you share your presentation, please. I think you forgot to share. Okay. Okay, it looks great. Okay, you can continue, please.
Okay. So the project Hatchery was conducted during 4 months, from February to May 2017, and 110 students were involved in this project. That 2 are work quitting at that time because due to some problems that they faced in the beginning. So there were 108 students that still in about 22 group, because one group is considered as a small group from 3 to 5 students, and it will last until the end of the project Hatchery. But some of the groups in the middle, in the meantime, I mean, in the middle of the process, get some difficulties in arranging the time. So only 27 students, which is about 9 groups, go along with this project. We involved as well.
Mr. Herman, you can click your PowerPoint. You can. Yeah. Yeah.
We involved 17 recruited students who has been involved in the InnoCamp project and student tutors, and they will work with the 108 actually since the first time, and 10 teachers from different departments in our faculty. And I'd like to tell you that the project Hatchery conducted in this university only in one faculty, which is the Faculty of Languages and Arts. So we have about 10 study program, 7 study program of languages, and 4 study program of arts. And the students are compound of this department, and they work together from February to May. February, there is the first phase of study of the recruitment, where we before we invited Hari to us from Turku University as Applied Sciences to give the introduction of Project Hatchery to the student and to the tutor, as well as to the teacher. And we recruited the student from February, and we chose some stakeholders that work with us until the end of this program. There were 6 stakeholders. First, from local authority, from Kecamatan Depok in Sleman Regency. Second, from NGO, Borda organization, which has to do with the environment. And travel agent, KWU. KWU is the Center for Entrepreneurship of YSU. And Dinas Sosial, the social department of local government in Yogyakarta. So the 6 stakeholders would give the student the challenge to solve with their partners, and the student completed this work together with their friends during 3 months. And the second phase of the project Hatchery that they did is the planning. And we introduced every single problem from the stakeholders. We're introducing Project Hatchery, what expect from them, and sharing with the stakeholders whatever stakeholders want to get to involve the student in their problems. And we make the student tutors some meeting and some reflection about the challenge, and they wording the challenge and preparing outbound as the start at the kick point to start the project Hatchery. And during the working phase, the third phase of the study, the project Hatchery, the student group will work with their partners, with their another group, with their student tutor, and with their teacher as facilitator. The teacher would not give them any suggestion of solution. This is to raise some ideas and to make some brainstorming about how to solve the problem, how to work together, and how to create, to be creative in finding or in discovering some solution. And during the working phase, the session is quite difficult because some students got involved in some other activities where they can share only once a week in meeting. And as I said before, that the project Hatchery in this university do not part of the curriculum. This is extracurricular. So the student will not give their all time to get involved in any activities. And finally, we make the presentation on May. And during the presentation, there were only 27 students, which are about 9 groups who present their result as a working phase. And in this time, I would like to invite my colleague from teacher facilitator to give some description about what the student did during the project Hatchery. Ms. Amy will tell you about this process.
Thank you. So I was one of the teachers at the project Hatchery held by Yogyakarta State University. I supervised 6 groups. Actually, there were 2 teachers, and I'm one of teachers. We supervised group 1 up to group 6, which consists of 30 students at first. But at the end, there were only 3 groups left. And then the obstacles that we found during the project is that the first, the students are too busy with the assignment from their classes. They come from different study program, and then it's hard for them to meet at a scheduled meeting. And then even if the meeting was successfully conducted, there were only 2 or 3 students came at the meeting. And then looking at this problem, we tried to overcome this problem by making a WhatsApp group. But then, so I invited all the participants, all the students involved in group 1 up to group 6. But then within the WhatsApp groups, only certain students actively responded the message. Some are silent readers. And then, but as we only teachers, we don't give any pressure, and we just let them be what they want to be. And then, so the role of teachers in this project is we simply supervise what they did. We didn't give any surprise. We didn't give any surprise. We only monitor their progress. And we also realize that they are adult learners, so we don't just keep pushing them. We just let them go to build their creativity. And then about the benefits, we see that The students who finally survived within this project, the benefits that they got are, the first one is they learn about time management. They try to manage their time in spite of their busy time, their assignments, but they commit to meet at a scheduled meeting. And then they also learn about networking. The groups that I supervise got a challenge from Kecamatan Depok, and then they meet the head of Kecamatan Depok, which is they never thought before. And then they also learn about creativity. They solve a problem which is very uncommon, which is out of the box. And then they also learn about initiative when they make a solution and then their groups think that the solution was not applicable, then they try to find another solution. While for teachers, we got some benefits also. I learned a new way of teaching. I learned that we as a teacher, we are supposed to control ourselves, not to be too powerful, to let students to be creative in their own way. Thank you.
Okay. So for the first implementation in Yogyakarta State University, we just try to implement this methodology of teaching, how to involve the student in one strategy of learning where they can create. They can be creative, they can be full of initiative, and they can work together with their friends. And we are now thinking about how to implement this in another way. It means that maybe the next time we will get this project into the course or in the curriculum. So what we have done in the first implementation is quite surprising that the students learn a lot. Even though they were only less than a half the student, which lasts until the end of the project. I think that's all what we can share with you. Any question will be welcome, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Helmo, for the presentation. And now we go to question and answer session. Maybe it takes only 7 minutes because we still have another session after this. And the question for Miss Meju. This is an interesting question, I think. How can you share to the participant how you select to find a potential tutor for the project, and how you transfer 5 credits of Project Hatchery into the final transcript? Please, Ms. Meju, to answer.
Thank you for the questions. How we are pick up into a potential tutor. So at the moment it's optional study for our tutors. So every student who are interested in and want to develop own guidings and guidings and supporting skills are able to participate this course. So I do not use any selection or criteria. So every person who are motivated and interested about this can participate. And then was the second question about the credits or ECTS. I'm not sure what are you meaning in the final transcript. It is a final grade, or can you clarify that question?
Yeah, because it's involved from a multidisciplinary program maybe. So how you can the final score for the for the student for the final
How we-
transcript. Yeah.
How we are assessing and
Yeah,
making. Yes, okay. So in the assessment we are using self-assessment, peer assessment, and tutor and teachers assessments. So the grade, we are making the final grade combining all these several resources.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Meiju. And for the next question for Mr. Where is he? From Mr. Samadi.
Oh, sorry. The Samadhi is out for a while.
Oh, out for a while. Okay. Okay, maybe Mr. Sukma, you can share to the others, for the participant, what the change on learning process and learning result after implementation the project Hatchery, and then is there any difficulties when you apply the Hatchery program in the learning process? Please, Mr. Sukma.
Okay, so okay, I will let my students actually talk about what changed them after they actually follow the Project Hatchery class. Okay, probably you can share, guys.
Okay. So hello, my name is Ikhwan Fikrindo Afrah. My name is Ikhwan Fikrindo Afrah, and I'm gonna tell the difficulties of how does it change? Okay. What changed me after I'm doing Project Hatchery is the ability to do more teamwork, the ability to do critical thinking, and also how to be creative, to find ideas, not just making ideas, but try to find ideas in your surrounding, and also we'll also learn about how to care about your surrounding actually.
And then my name is Arnaldo. My difficulty is almost same with Ikhwan, but for me, so my difficulty is maybe
Hello.
really hello, yes.
Somebody.
Speak louder.
Yeah, please continue.
Yes. My difficulty is maybe I cannot make some critical thinking, and then cannot make socialize with another major, and then I cannot do some things there is no one in my programs, like I cannot out of box. Maybe that's all.
So my name is Choi Junha, and the problems that I faced in Project Hatchery was that the teamwork, because since we're all from different major and we all have different backgrounds. I think when we were discussing our the problems and ideas, we sometimes had problems on agreeing on certain problems or ideas or answers, and we all had conflicts between the questions and how we solve the problem. And besides that,
What changed you?
the things that changed me after doing the Project Hatchery was that it increased my critical thinking, my creativity, and also the way I look at problems and the way for me to find the solution in a different way.
Yeah, I guess that's a very good answers from all these gentlemen. I think they're facing a different kind of class situations at a time. Their first class, I remember we're doing it before the regular semester starts. So it's 2 weeks ahead before the semester starts. So they're actually together in the class for 1 week full.
So yeah, they have a different kind of difficulties. Yeah, it's okay, but at the end they have a very good brainstorming, good discussions, and created very good prototypes for their project as well. So yeah, in terms of Project Hatchery, they are very active. So we actually challenge them because we are doing the facilitating kind of methods. So it's not all about lecturing. So it's more about challenging them, more about giving them a more facilitation.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, and maybe for this session, I think it's enough because we still have more session after this. We're going to talk about the learning by teaching and learning to learn.
By teaching.
Yeah.
Iya Bapak nih. Karena tadi kan
Yeah, and from this method, actually, for the student have to find